What's up, ladies and gentlemen? The one and only James Williams, Dog Waters, and I'm back. Now, everybody and their mama is talking about the third assassination attempt on Donald Trump, and it's newsworthy. It's the number one trending thing. I'm going to talk about it for a second, but I'm going to explain to you how you can really find more information on it and come to your own conclusion. Now, the more I've watched, I've come to the conclusion that I thought this guy was 100% deep state sent, and I still do believe that they sent him like a wound up toy soldier. But the reason why they sent him, I don't believe, is to actually assassinate anybody. I think they already knew that there was no way this man was going to be successful at what he was doing. And I still believe that the reason, I come to the conclusion now that the reason why this happened was to completely shift out of the news cycle the stories about the Haitian immigrants or Haitian aliens that are being dropped in to American cities to shift the voting demographics. Last week was completely dominated by that. People were to the point to where when Tim Walz was giving a speech, the people at his rally were saying, "We don't eat cats. We don't eat cats." It was breaking them. And it was forcing people to look at not only the Haitians in the cat eating and the dog eating, but also how they got there and what was the purpose of them being there. And also forcing people to see the backfill that they have for votes. So we know that, take Springfield, for example, they dropped 20,000 of them in Springfield. All 20,000 of them have IDs, and they have the ability to vote. And, you know, when you go get your driver's license, the first thing they ask you is, hey, would you like to register to vote? So, of course, those people are registered to vote. So there's 20,000 new registered voters in Springfield, Ohio. What they're not discussing is, what you have to look at is the number of new registered voters that are backfilling urban cities where black men have said, hey, I'm not voting for the Democrats. And so now they're backfilling with all these people who are now registered voters who are on a Democrat dole, basically on welfare from the Democratic Party. And so quite naturally, those people are going to go out and vote. Now, you won't realize this until election day and they're probably filling out ballots early. But nonetheless, at some point in time during election day in the near future, we'll see Haitians lined up outside of voting booths. Venezuelans lined up outside of voting booths. And then it'll be revealed when it's too late what the plan really was and what the plan really is. So they have the largest steal operation, like literally the largest voter fraud operation in the history of the world going on right now underneath our noses. And I believe that this assassination attempt, which did not happen, I believe that it's to distract from that. But nonetheless, let's just see if we can reinforce that by the timeline and by everything that can happen and all the information that's out. Now, I want to say this. If you want to kind of get real information, unfortunately, you can't watch American news because it's so biased. So you need to go outside of America, see what's being said, then come back to America and view what's being said. So we're starting with Sky News in Australia, which, by the way, if you're an Australian, you know these are the same people that was telling y'all stay in your house. But nonetheless, they're going to be a little bit more honest. And then I'm going to go to Russian news to see what Russian news is saying.
Right, let's take a closer look at how the incident unfolded. Now, Mr. Trump was playing a round at the Trump International Golf Course in West Palm Beach on Sunday when gunshots were heard. The former president was moving between holes 5 and 6 when a Secret Service agent spotted a rifle barrel coming out from a perimeter fence. The agent then fired at a man seen hiding in the bushes. It's unclear whether the suspect fired back.
Okay, first things first. So we got this area, we got this. This is a main highway, a main drag. So this man pulls over, goes into the bushes, and hides in the bushes off a main drag. That's crazy. And the way you know this is not 100% deep state orchestrated is because we know the last assassination attempt, there was talk that there was 3 shooters. There was at least 2. No doubt about it. And there was a complete and total stand down for the last one by the Secret Service. So, number one, homie parks on the side of a street. Remember, they said he got in his car and drove away. But this don't add up right here at all. Watch this. Let's keep going.
Police set up a cordon then to search the area. The suspect, identified as Ryan Routh, then fled. He was arrested around 45 minutes drive away on I-95 driving north. Well, our US correspondent Mark Stone is outside that courtroom in West Palm Beach for us now. So look, Mark, what do we know is ongoing there in this first appearance of Routh in the courthouse?
Well, I can tell you that he has been charged 2 federal gun charges, as we understand, including the possession of a firearm while a convicted felon and possession of a firearm with a obliterated serial number. He'll be arraigned in 2 weeks' time, we understand. As we understand it, he is still in the courthouse. His demeanour, he appeared nonchalant, not bothered. He was shackled, wearing a dark blue jail attire. That demeanour, that nonchalant demeanour, matches what happened yesterday when he was arrested at the end of a dramatic car chase not far from here. Remember, he fled the scene.
Look at that man's eyes. Look at that man's eyes. That man is crazy. That man bat crap crazy. Look at his eyes. Bat crap crazy. That's what happens to people when they have Trump derangement syndrome. If you go back and look at like Whoopi Goldberg or Joy Behar or any of those people prior to Donald Trump running office, over time they get that same dead stare in their eyes. It's derangement. They're crazy.
At the Trump International Golf Club in a Nissan vehicle, he was spotted by a witness.
Yeah, he crazy.
Who gave a photograph to the police, who then chased him down one of the freeways, one of the highways here in Florida, and he was arrested. We've got images of him having been arrested yesterday afternoon, and the police who had carried out that arrest said it was remarkable in how unbothered he was by this arrest. He didn't put up any sort of fight and was taken into custody, spent the night in the police cell, and has now appeared in court. In terms of his background, well, we're learning a lot more about him. He is a man who has footprints both in North Carolina and also in Hawaii. He has spent some time in Ukraine, and the Ukraine war appears to be something that vexed him a great deal. He traveled to Kyiv in 2022. He wanted to join the Ukrainian military to fight against Russia. He was
crazy thing is the war. The Ukrainian war started under Joe Biden. This is crazy.
Unsuccessful in doing that, but clearly both the Ukraine conflict and the tensions between China and Taiwan were issues that bothered him, that
everything that started under Joe Biden
vexed him. Also, his social media footprint gives an indication of his background. One social media post which we have verified from 2020, he talks about Donald Trump and says, while you were my choice in 2016, I and the world hoped that President Trump would be different and better than the candidate you have been, but we were all greatly disappointed. With great disappointment, it seems you are getting worse and developing. You are retarded. I will be glad when you are gone. So that is a
Trump derangement syndrome, as I said. And first of all, let me tell you something, guys. Ain't no damn conservative Republican Trump supporter going to no damn Ukraine to fight no war. It ain't happening. Everybody knows that that's the deep state's playing ground. So to sit here and try and say, oh, this guy's a Trump supporter, but at the same time he went to Ukraine and was on videotape in the Ukraine, come on, man, that's the biggest. Any of you guys, have y'all ever considered going to the Ukraine to fight? Was there a Ukrainian war conflict under Donald Trump's presidency?
2020 tweet by Ryan Routh about Donald Trump, a man he says he voted for back in 2016. Donald Trump himself is still in Mar-a-Lago. That is his resort here in Florida. It's a 10-minute drive or so from where we are now. He has been on Fox News today. He has appeared in a phone call with Fox News Digital, and he is blaming the Democrats for this. He said,
you absolutely have to blame the Democrats for it. Every ounce of rhetoric, you driving people crazy with 8 years of this man is the devil, he's Satan, he overthrew the country, he did this, he's Hitler. Every bit of it is the media's fault. Every bit of it is the media's fault.
Says their rhetoric.
the media and the deep state.
Is causing me to be shot at when I am the one who is going to save the country, and they are the ones that are destroying the country from both inside and out. So Donald Trump, as he and his surrogates did after the first assassination attempt, are broadly blaming the language of the Democrats. But what is absolutely clear is that the language on his own side is dangerously, the rhetoric is dangerous as well. Donald Trump, Elon Musk.
It's crazy. It's crazy because everywhere you look, you blame the dude who got shot at for language. So, for example, one of the shows today was saying that because he talked about the Haitian immigrants, it led to violence. That dude ain't Haitian. If the Haitians were so pissed off, wouldn't the Haitians be pulling the trigger? That dude right there ain't Haitian. But it's amazing how the media deflects and plays games, and then people just jump on board with it. Now, remember, the first time there was an assassination attempt, it was, that wasn't a real shooting. It was a packet of blood on his ear. We went through all that foolishness. But they had to come out and say, no. There was a real shooter. There was a man dead. Right? And people still say, that wasn't real. Let me ask you a question. How many presidential candidates have you ever seen try to be assassinated multiple times since you've been alive? Matter of fact, let's not even go that far. How many presidential candidates have you ever seen where there was gunplay within their vicinity since you've been alive? Let's think. Let's go to George Bush. Can't remember that with the Bush Jr. Bush Sr. Maybe. Kennedy, for sure. Obama. Nope. No. Some of you may be older. You may remember more. But what you're trying to tell me is, and there's been negative rhetoric throughout the history of politics. There was negative rhetoric when Barack Obama was president. Barack Obama said negative things. He said that America clings to his Bibles and his guns. The most insulting thing that he could have said. Ain't nobody take no shots at Obama, because the media wasn't turning Obama into the devil. The conservative media was saying, hey, Obama is this, he's this, he's this, he's this. But they never turned him into the devil. They never said he was overthrowing democracy. It's amazing how hypocritical these people are. And it's getting to the point to where it's dangerous, to where when he gets in office, their asses need to be arrested. And people are going to say, he's being a dictator. Well, I'm sorry. You need to be arrested, homie. Thrown in prison. Because it's getting to the point to where you can't have a civil war in America without the media acting a damn fool. You can't even have, if you remove the narratives from the mainstream media, the problem about the Haitians, the problem about the Venezuelans, the gangs, all that stuff is exposed and people are angry and they're dealing with it. But you add them into the mix and they sway the opinion of a certain group of people. And it's that same group of people who are going to get punished in the end. It's that same group of people who got Venezuelan governmental criminal gangs in their neighborhoods doing crimes. It's insane, man. It's absolutely insane. And I'm thinking Sky News is gonna have some sense, but they don't. Yeah, they don't have no sense. So let's go see what they're saying in India. Let's see what they're saying in India. YouTube doesn't like this news channel for whatever reason.
In following the news today, you must have heard about how Donald Trump evaded another assassination attempt. But what do we know about the man who dared to undertake such an attack? Why did he want to shoot the former president? Here's what is known so far. Ryan Wesley Routh, the 58-year-old man who was arrested on Sunday for an attempted assassination on Trump, had allegedly expressed the desire to fight and die in Ukraine. It turns out Ryan Routh was one of thousands of foreign volunteers who headed to Ukraine after the Russia-Ukraine.
Look at him. Look at him looking crazy back there. But look at the dude in front of him. Looking crazy. In fact, every last one of these people that you're looking at look demented and crazy. Look at her over here. Eyes sunk in like they demon possessed.
War started in February 2022. In fact, reports say that he even reached the Polish border town of Medyka, where he turned up at the office of the Ukrainian International Legion, only to be rejected. And after his rejection by the Ukrainian forces, he reportedly went to Kiev, where he tried to coordinate volunteers by pitching a tent on the capital's Maidan Square. His views and political activity are now being examined for clues as to the possible motivation behind the attack.
Stop, pause. Hold on. First of all, thank you, my favorite Indian news commentator. So what you're trying to get me to expect is America didn't have tabs on the man who left America, went to the Ukraine, met with the Ukrainian government, went to Kiev, set up a camp outside of Kiev, and started recruiting people. Trying to get me to believe that that man didn't have no tabs on him whatsoever. The deep state didn't have no influence on him whatsoever. That don't make no damn sense. You don't think for a second that the American government was monitoring who was leaving America, going to the Ukraine at this point in time, during that time period, talking about they're going to go fight in Ukraine. So he should have been on somebody's watch list, point blank period, right? I mean, think about it. If I'm in president office and they got American citizens saying, yeah, I'm going to go over to fight in the war in Ukraine, and we don't have our military on the ground, and he says, I'm going to go fight in the war. Hey, man, y'all keep eye on that boy. That boy crazy. He doing what? Yeah, that boy crazy, man. He going over there to fight in a whole nother country's war. That boy crazy. The people ain't blowing us. That boy crazy.
On the US presidential candidate. The focus is currently on his activity online. His post on the platform X, formerly Twitter, revealed a penchant for violent rhetoric. In the early weeks of the Russia-Ukraine war, he wrote on X, and I'm quoting, "I'm willing to fly to Krakow and go to the border of Ukraine to volunteer and fight and die." A former contractor from Greensboro, North Carolina, he was interviewed by the New York Times.
What type of contractor? Well, what type of contractor? Are we talking about military contractor?
In 2023 for an article about Americans volunteering to aid the war effort in Ukraine. Routh, who had zero military experience,
well, that answers that question.
said he had tried.
Now, how crazy you gotta be to say you gonna go fight in a war and you ain't got no military experience? Look at them eyes on them people, y'all. Look at them. Look at them eyes, man. Damn. How crazy you gotta be? How deranged are you?
Traveled to Ukraine. He said he wanted to recruit Afghan soldiers to fight there. He said he had planned
This boy said he wanted to recruit Afghan
to
soldiers.
move them from Pakistan and Iran to Ukraine. It's not clear whether he followed through. But wait, there is more here.
What else, girl?
On the messaging application Signal, Routh's profile, bio, read, I'm quoting, "Civilians must change this war and prevent future wars." On WhatsApp, his bio read, "Each one of us must do our part daily in the smallest steps, help support human rights, freedom, and democracy. We each must help the Chinese," quote unquote.
Help the who? Hold on. Kill anywhere is extreme tragic. Ukraine does not want Afghan soldiers. Tried for 6 months to get them to accept Afghans, and they don't want them in their country. I try very hard to sell them, but they refuse. I'm sorry. There are hundreds of Afghan soldiers begging to go to Haiti to join the police force to help. They are NATO trained and need hope and purpose again. Help me get them to Haiti. What kind of deep state tarded operative is this dude? Hold on. I have hundreds of Afghan NATO trained stateless soldiers that are begging to go to Haiti and help restore peace now. These soldiers are helpless refugees looking for work. And he putting the phone number up there. On the right hand side, guys, that's what I'm reading.
What's more, in a video interview posted by Newsweek Romania in June 2022, he aimed to help recruit foreign fighters to Kiev's cause.
My initial goal was to come and fight. I think everybody around the globe should be motivated to come here and support the Ukrainians and support the army, no matter what gender, age, anything. Everybody should be here supporting the Army.
In total, 3 social media accounts bearing his name suggest he was an avid supporter of Ukraine. Still, the question remains, why Trump? And what exactly did Routh hope to achieve? Could his social media provide some clues? In a post on X on the 22nd of April, he slammed Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump. He said, and I'm quoting, "Democracy is on the ballot and we cannot afford to lose." A similar slogan has been commonly used by President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris. Routh, in his social media post, urged President Biden, when he was running for re-election, to center his campaign on preserving America's democracy and freedom. He also accused Trump of seeking to, quote-unquote, enslave Americans under a master. The 58-year-old was reportedly a supporter of both Vivek Ramaswamy and Nikki Haley in the upcoming elections. That's before they decided to drop out of the race. When he was arrested, authorities recovered an AK-47 style assault rifle, a scope, 2 backpacks.
Now, I'm going to tell you guys, that's something else that got me. You know, and this is the confusing part. You know, every deep state operation, they use AR-15s. Because the AR is the poster child for the weapon that they want to ban. So, if you go back, the young man who just recently shot up a school, AR-15. The one before that, the transformer before that shot up a school, AR-15. If you always go back, it's always AR. The Trump assassination attempt, AR-15. That's the weapon of choice that they want to ban because that's the most popular weapon that men in America have. And so when I saw this AK-47 thing, I was like, this is not even on par with the weapon of choice that they want to ban. And then when it comes out that he's a convicted felon, he has the gun illegally, it's like, oh, this not really helping their cause for, we need to take guns away from people. Because he's a felon, he's with a gun, he's got a gun. So it just goes to show you, they can get their hands on guns. And see, this is where my brain is saying something don't add completely up. The only thing I haven't been able to figure out is how this man knew when he was going to be playing golf. Unless he just plays golf there every Sunday, which I seriously doubt that because he's traveling all over the world. So I can see somebody just giving this psychopath just a hint. Yeah, well, you know, Donald going to be playing golf on Sunday. And then boom, he off to the races. But the rest of the support structure, remember, the first assassination attempt, they covered up all the details of the guy. We had to actually, they had to have Senate hearings and committees and all the rest of the stuff to get all the details. This one, all the details is laid out in front of everybody. And this is what makes me think that this is a smokescreen to cover up something else. So this is what we're going to do. We finna go look and we're going to see what the hell else is going on right now. And what was going on Saturday, what was going on Sunday. Because this don't make no damn sense. You see what I'm saying? Don't make no damn sense. It don't make no sense at all. None whatsoever.